Your vision is a living, breathing thing, just like you. Um, I think the mistake that a lot of us make is that we live in the vision that we created 10 years ago, or the vision that we created when we were 6 of the life that we wanted. Does this mean that certain aspects of your life can't happen and that childhood dreams can't come true? Absolutely not. I watched Rachel Luna this past week or the week before, I can't remember when her book launched. Yes, last week. Watch her childhood dream come true. So this doesn't mean that you cancel out your childhood dreams because life is different now. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that when you create a vision, understand that that vision needs to serve you. It needs to serve your purpose. It needs to serve who God created you to be, because there's an agenda that He has for your life, which must supersede the agenda that you have for your life. Because as much as you love yourself and you think you want the best for you, you haven't even scratched the surface of what God wants for you. Okay? So even after I wrote the book and I made the book available on Amazon, and not just as an ebook, because I wanted people to have a physical copy that they could just walk around with, that they could actually write in. So I created the book like a journal. So every single element in the vision sequence, it's basically like a chapter, and then at the end of the chapter you can actually write out every single step in your own words, in your own voice. Because I think sometimes we read books and it may be something inspirational, it may be something motivational, and we read the book but we hear the external voice of the person who wrote the book, and we don't get to hear our own thoughts, and we don't get to interpret in our own words. So that's why I ditched the ebook, because when I first launched Vision, it was actually an ebook. I ditched the ebook and I made it available on Amazon because I want you to actually be able to write things down. Out of that, it developed into a full-fledged coaching program, because writing things out is one thing and living it is another thing. And in my own quest for my personal development, which is ongoing, I still have a coach, still have coaches, I still have mentors, because there's a lot that I want to accomplish, and there's a lot that I still have to do. And I'm not saying this from a place of lack. I am saying it from a place of understanding the resources that I need to create the vision that I have for my life. So that being said, I am making myself available as a resource for other women who want to create the vision for their lives. And this is something that we are not taught. We are just taught, you go to school, you get a good job, and you make the best of it, and you try to make the best life you can, and you learn as much as you can along the way, and hopefully you have love, and hopefully you have fun, and hopefully you don't get sick, and then you die, and that's it. And I don't know, that doesn't sound right to me. When I was going through this issue that I had, and I was bleeding all the time, and it was 10 years. Okay, this is a decade. I feel like I basically had my period for a whole decade. There were months where I would be bleeding for 8 days, and there were months where I bled up to 21 days. And this is all I saw every single day. And I planned my life around this thing. And I felt so limited. And I had to get to the point where I could see, like visualize, I could see that there had to be something more, and there had to be something better than this. because I reached the point where I just accepted, all right, this is how it is, and I'm just gonna make the best of this, right? And I don't think I know that's not what God had for me. So when I created the vision sequence, it was because of work that I needed to do within myself, work that I needed to do to visualize a better life, right? To deal with my own limiting beliefs and deal with boosting my faith and deal with becoming the type of woman that God could heal. Because I remember reading in the Bible about the woman with the issue of blood, and Jesus said to her, your faith has made you whole. And I was like, how do I get that type of faith? How do I get that type of faith that God can meet and create something new and turn everything around in my life? How do I get that type of faith? And that's really what the vision sequence was birthed out of. When I tell you I live this thing, and every single day my vision expands. Every single day I wake up and I feel like there's one more person, there's one more woman that needs to hear this. And I will talk about it all the time. And at first I was like, maybe I'm talking about this too much. Maybe, people don't really want to hear about this. I'm going to be honest. And I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be selling. Maybe I should lower my price. All these things I thought about. And I'm like, I'm selling I don't even want to say I'm selling, because I am not selling. I am offering an opportunity for women to be involved in this program, right? At a cost of what people spend on purses, okay? And not even the expensive ones. So I'm not going to feel bad about that. Because part of my vision for my own life is using what I know, using the wisdom that I have gleaned over these last 10 years of struggling on my own to figure out what my vision is for my life, right? To get to the point where I can look in the mirror and be happy and feel complete and feel beautiful and feel loved with the woman that I see in the mirror the second I get up. Before I wash my face, before I brush my teeth, I feel beautiful and I feel loved. And it was not always that way, right? If I can help another woman not have to wait to feel loved and not have to wait to feel seen, right? If I can help another woman not seek significance only in her relationships or her job or through her children, right? If I can help another woman do that, then it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. It was worth it when I did it for myself. And it continues to be worth it when I do it for myself every single day. But I know that this was not just for me. Excuse me if you hear my son snoring in the background, because he's asleep in his car seat. Today is Valentine's Day. And I know that there are a lot of women who are wishing and hoping and waiting to get flowers or to be taken out on a date or to be told that they're beautiful. And for those women, I hope that that does happen. But I don't want you to feel that you aren't beautiful or you aren't special or you aren't loved or you aren't significant if those things don't happen, because you are. And I want you to be able to see that. And if you have set goals in your life that are based on you wanting to be validated by others and you wanting to be seen by others, I urge you to reset those goals. There is a resource available for you inside the vision sequence, and it's called the A-list assignment. A lot of us put ourselves on the back burner in our own lives, right? And even if we're going after all the things, we're going after all the things because we feel less than. And we feel that if I accomplish these things, if I make these things happen in my life, then I am somebody. And I'm not saying this to tell you that your goals are wrong and your dreams are wrong. I'm encouraging you to get to the truth of why you want those things. We live in a world that does not encourage us to be reflective, does not encourage us to question our motives. It's get all you can. Get all you can. Get all the money you can. Get all the love you can. Get all the fame you can. Get all the recognition you can, because life is short. And yet, life is short. This side of life is short. But there's a side of life beyond this. And this is a dress rehearsal for that side. And God doesn't want you to wait until you get to that side to be fulfilled. So I'm just encouraging you to get on the A-list assignment. It's a complimentary PDF within the vision sequence. I'm going to put the link in the description. You can go ahead and download it. And let that be your exercise in self-care. Because I believe that setting goals is self-care. I believe that setting the right goals is self-care. I believe understanding yourself is self-care. I believe nurturing your mind is self-care. I believe knowing exactly what you want and what you don't is self-care. I believe admitting that you have no idea what you're doing with your life and you need some direction and you need some help is self-care. I believe that allowing yourself to be bothered and not pretending that you are unbothered is self-care. I believe that pouring into others is self-care. When you're doing it from a place of fullness and not at the expense of yourself. Ooh, he's snoring good. So, that's my invitation for you today. Download the A-list assignment. Go through the prompts. Write down what comes to you. Write down the first thing that comes to you. It's not wrong. And before you download it, I'll just give you the elements. So there are 5 principles to the A-list assignment. Appreciate your attributes. Affirm your value. Articulate your dreams. Act authentically. And access abundant life. This is how I live every day. And it has made the biggest difference in my life. It's made a difference to how I show up. It's made a difference to how I dream. It's made a difference to what I say yes to and what I say no to. It's made a difference where I don't feel like I'm selling myself out or I'm selling myself short. I no longer feel imprisoned by my pain. I feel fueled by my purpose. And as I was talking earlier about the bleeding issue that I had from 2011 to 2021. And on October 22nd of 2021, the bleeding stopped. And I truly believe that God met my faith where I was, and I needed that. I needed that break. But what I was doing was, I was saying, oh, I can deal with this. I can handle this because I'm strong. I'm strong because I have to be. Right? And all the time, nobody knew. Nobody knew that I was going through this. My husband knew. Few of my family members knew. Very close friends knew. But it wasn't something I spoke about. It wasn't something I even spoke about on social media as much as I had shared other things on my social media platforms. And it was a hard time, but I smiled. I smiled so big for so long. And I pretended that I was okay while I was falling apart. Because the vision that I was projecting wasn't a vision at all. It was a facade. I wasn't happy. I was broken. I was disappointed. I was sad. But as a mom, as a wife, as a friend, as a Christian, I felt I had to put on this show that I was okay. And it wasn't until I admitted that I wanted more. I wanted different. It wasn't until I admitted, you know what? I don't like this. I don't like this life. I don't like this thing. I don't like how I feel. I don't like that I can't wear white. My favorite thing to wear is white. You can't wear white when you're bleeding all the time. I don't like it. And it was so freeing. It was so freeing to admit, I don't want this. I am not happy with this. I don't want to show up this way. I don't want to pretend I'm happy. I want to be happy. I want to ooze happiness. I want to walk into a room and people just feel happy. Little happy vibes coming out of me. I know that sounds woo-woo and crazy, but when I admitted to what I didn't want, I made room for what I did. To this day, I still use the vision sequence. To this day, well, I mean, I have to because I'm teaching it, but I still use the vision sequence. I'm still visualizing what I want. I'm still examining the mindset behind it. I'm still opening myself up to the possibilities because every single day I get to another level and I get to another dimension. And I can't even describe what this is because we look at life sometimes and we think it's like stair steps and you're going up the stairs. But it's like you're going up the stairs, and when you go up the stairs, you open a door. And when you open that door, you go up another set of stairs and you open a door. And you go up another set of stairs and you open a door. So it's like upward, and then there are dimensions, and then upward, and then dimensions, and then upward, and then there are dimensions. And every time you open the door, the room is bigger that you enter. When you start expanding your vision, anything is possible. And I'm not talking about business. I'm not talking about health. I'm not talking about relationships. I'm talking about everything. Everything. Everything expands. Everything expands when you start to create a different vision for your life. It is so worth it to let go of what is not serving you. And I'm going to leave you with this because it's something that I've been saying for a while now. But the hardest person for you to walk away from is the version of you who does not serve your future. A lot of us need to let go of that old vision that we had and embrace something new. Even if you don't know what that new vision is, embrace something new and be open to new things happening and be open to new possibilities, wonderful possibilities in your life. Blessings on your journey.